Hey, what's up everybody? Grumpy Geek back on the mic today to talk about everybody's favorite dim-witted, hard-headed speedster, Barry Allen, so I can give a quick review and reaction to the second episode of Season 3 titled Paradox. So, spoiler warning for everybody who hasn't seen the episode, turn it off now, go watch the episode, come back, and listen to the podcast. For everybody else, to be honest, I don't even know where to start. Even though this was what I would call a good episode, I still found myself triggered by the way writers continue to characterize Barry as a hollow-headed numbskull who obviously has never seen the movie Butterfly Effect in his life. 3 seasons, a multiverse with 50,000 busted timelines, and a gazillion time remnants later, and this guy finally is starting to learn his lesson about time travel. But I'm getting ahead of myself, so let me pump my brakes real fast before I go spinning off into a tangent of fanboy rage like I've been known to do in the past. First off, I just want to say that I thought it was cool this episode attempted to show how the Flashpoint affected the rest of the CW by showing us an intriguing view of the Arrowverse from Felicity's perspective. Even if all the changes to the timeline were not as dramatic as they seem to be portrayed on screen. Because I think that Sarah Diggle being replaced by John Diggle Jr. It's certainly a problem. It's just not a universal problem. It's not a big enough problem to be like, oh my god, it's world-shattering revelation. But regardless of the minimal impact that Flashpoint has had so far, this episode did a good job giving better exposition of the unintended consequences caused by Barry's timeline fuckery. And it did a better job of doing that than the premiere did last week. So it gets a point for that at least, just right off the bat. But at the same time, the episode still does a pitiful job at showing how the Flashpoint really had any negative direct impact on Barry, other than the fact that everybody's mad at each other, everybody's mad at him because of his actions, and the fact that both of his parents are still dead. I mean, maybe that's why he keeps running back in time, because there were really no negative consequences to him doing so, other than just dealing with everyone's mopey faces. I mean, where are the time wraiths and all that other shit? But I digress. Luckily for Barry in this episode, though, he had Jay Garrick to offer up some friendly advice. Jay wasn't in the episode as much as I would have liked him to be, but Barry and Jay's interaction established a strong foundation that the show can build on in the future, and the interaction also gave Barry the strong defining moment of his character arc that I've been bitching about for months now, as he finally accepted the idea that meddling with time isn't just dangerous and unpredictable, but it's also selfish as fuck. Case in point being the fact that Cisco's brother, Dante, is no longer alive because of his time travel fuckery. Overall though, I think this episode offered up a solid dose of drama, in particular with Cisco's arc, as we saw him deeply depressed and in a morose state of mind, which made the payoff for when he suited up as Vibe and helped Barry out of his jam with Rival and Alchemy later in the episode all the more phenomenal to me. I am also happy to see that it appears we are going to be finally getting a real Killer Frost storyline this season for Caitlin due to the impact of the Flashpoint. So I'm kind of geeked about that, to be honest. That's one of the best things that come out of the Flashpoint so far, in my opinion. One of the weakest parts of the episode I felt like was the Iris and Joe storyline. It felt like it was just filler and it was very underwhelming to me. I mean, I was hoping that the Flashpoint would have caused Iris's life to be changed in a more fundamental and significant way, given how the previous episode ended. But instead, all we got was this disappointing revelation that the only change for her was the fact that she was holding a grudge against her father for not being completely honest about her mother, Francine. But now the two of them have worked out their differences. It's as if nothing really changed for the West family due to the Flashpoint. So it just seemed kind of pointless in my opinion. I think it was funny that out of all the things the Flashpoint could have been used to do, one of the things it did do was give Barry a new cranky co-worker in the form of Julian Albert, played by Tom Felton, who we all know and love from Harry Potter as the infamous Draco Malfoy. Not sure if he will be revealed to be an antagonist or not, but I wouldn't be surprised if he turns out to be Dr. Alchemy, since there is some sort of a correlation between the two characters, in addition to the fact that it would follow the same formula the show has used in the 2 previous seasons when it comes to their villains as well. Like, it wouldn't surprise me if he turned out to be Alchemy or even the Big Bad Savitar, since that's what the show does. Introduce a new character, then introduce a new villain, build up mystery as to who it is while trying to make us all think it's not the new guy, and then BAM! It's revealed that it was the new guy in the end, and we all facepalm and shake our heads and go, really? But at the same time, he could be another red herring like Eddie Thawne in Season 1. So in truth, it's really hard to tell what his role will be, how he'll function on the show as we go forward, so we'll just have to wait and see. This episode also found time to introduce Alchemy himself this week, who's voiced by Tobin Bell, who played Jigsaw from all the Saw movies. To be honest, I could really care less about this villain so far with his goofy ass costume and corny dialogue. I mean, he looked like he was wearing an antique tablecloth with some pothead's homemade gas mask on or something like that. I mean, I literally laughed out loud with my son. I mean, it was really cheesy. But I kind of expected more, especially, after the previous bar has been set with these shows. But in all honesty, though, between Alchemy and Rival together, I feel like the show really doesn't have a credible threat at this point in time to deal with right now. So far, I feel like Alchemy's motivations to create another army of metahumans and restore the Flashpoint timeline back to reality, it just seems ambiguously weak to me right now. But who knows, maybe in the next few episodes, it'll start to make a little bit more sense once they flesh out the arc, and that has a possibility of changing. You never know. In the end, though, I give this episode a strong 8 out of 10. Paradox served up as a good follow-up to Flashpoint from last week. They gave us humor as Barry discovered the various ways the universe had changed, but they focused more on drama as the members of Team Flash began to deal with the new tragedies of their lives. While in some ways it felt like Paradox didn't exploit the drama that it could have to its fullest, it still delivered in some strong content and material. There's no telling how many other changes Barry will discover as the season continues. So, like I said, we'll just have to stay tuned, and it's got my interest definitely peaked. So, thumbs up. But as usual, if you have any thoughts on the matter, go ahead, drop a comment down below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and all that good shit. If you want to follow me on social media, all of the links for that are down in the description down below as well. And I just want to thank you for taking time to listen. I appreciate all your sexy bodies, and I love y'all. See you next time. Peace.